this is part of the path that leads to what leads people to be drawn into these circumstances. Both my parents were alcoholics and very dysfunctional. By the time I was 4, my mother abandoned me. And I felt very, very unimportant in life. You know, when your mother can forsake you, you don't feel very special at all. So I did get to stay with my grandparents, though, for a couple of years, and that was a wonderful, wonderful time, the most peaceful time I ever had. But then my family decided that I needed to go live with my dad in Florida, and of course he was an alcoholic and a single guy in his 40s, and he liked to drink a lot. So I started the 2nd grade in Lee County, Fort Myers, Florida, and I spent a lot of time growing up in bars, you know, surrounded by men. I said, in this day and age, if you would have brought a little girl up like my dad brought me up, I wouldn't have stood a chance. I would have been abducted by now. You know, it's very dangerous now. But I was left at home alone a lot. I just didn't have anybody. I went hungry, I was malnourished, and you know, this went on. I lived with my dad for till I was 10. But in the meantime, between the time at the age of 9, by the time I was 9, at 9, I was molested and assaulted by 3 different men and stalked by another one. So 4 different men in 1 year. One of them was my dad. One of my dad's drinking buddies would molest me. And a babysitter. Don't ever leave your kids with a man. I don't know, you know, a boy or anybody. Do never leave a girl with, you know, a boy. So, but the worst one happened, and this is in my book. And it was so hard to write about, you know, to go back, because God buries your memories and they become dim, and then he tells you, okay, go resurrect them. But this was a man who met my father at a park, and this is something to look out for. He befriended my dad, and he had a little girl my age. And so at the end of the day, they played in the park, and he said, well, we'll take her home, and she can show us where you live. And so on the way home, he made a pit stop, and he ended up molesting me in the back seat right in front of his daughter. And that was just the first of many times that he would come to my house and pick me up and take me with his daughter. And eventually, he was assaulting both of me and his daughter and taking pictures of us. And just doing things that, you know, men shouldn't do to girls. So that was at 9. At 10, at 10 years old, that went on between 9 and 10 years old. And by the time I was 10, there was another man that was stalking us. He, at 3 different occasions, was stalking us in the woods, would be at the bus stop and was flashing himself at us, and he ended up getting arrested and caught by the police. So that was a blessing. But I wondered if the man who took the pictures of us didn't show the pictures to this man, because it was so coincidental that suddenly, you know, we're being stalked. And that occurred to me in my writing that was probably what happened. All these weren't just coincidence.